Hi everyone, my name is Samantha and welcome to my YouTube channel, Sewing in Switzerland. So I'm really sorry I missed a video last week. I'm getting over a cold that kind of came out of nowhere. I say came out of nowhere. I actually went for a dip in the lake and it was really, really cold, and I think I gave myself like a bit of a chesty thing, so I actually do only have myself to blame. It didn't come out of nowhere at all. So yeah, so I missed last week's and spent a few days in bed, kind of feeling really sorry for myself. So I thought we'd kick off with a really good one. These are new patterns that have just come out in September 2025. So I love doing new pattern videos because we usually get like a bit of a mixed bag and we get to see some really like interesting, you know, variety of patterns come out. So these are just indies, by the way. These are new indie patterns that have come out in September 2025. So yeah, and I got some crackers. There are some really good ones, and I'm going to kick off with my favourite, which is by Sister Mag Patterns, and it's called the Trench. Now I go very gooey for trench coats and capes. They are like my jam. I absolutely love them. I go nuts for them. And this is no different. We have got this stunning cropped trench coat with a twist. Okay, so we've got this really wide back yoke going on, very, very wide, and then it narrows ever so slightly down into the hips there, and then at the hip length it's the exact same point at which the sleeves end. So you've got this phenomenally boxy kind of cube shape, this kind of very, very square silhouette that ever so slightly comes into that kind of reverse triangle point at the bottom, and it's just gorgeous. Like the swing on it, the movement on it is just, oh, gosh, it's like take your breath away. so stunning. And then we've got these kind of sleeve tabs on the cuffs here as well, that kind of just add a little something extra to that eye line, so you can see where they all kind of line up and with the bottom of the trench, and it's so good. It is so good that I don't even have the words to tell you how good it is, right? It's absolutely stunning. And I found a really similar trench, certainly a very similar shape on Burberry, that's going for a very cool 1,600 quid. So, you know, this particular pattern is 13 francs, Swiss francs. So, you know, the fact that you could spend like just under 2,000 quid and get this jacket, or you could make it yourself and get the pattern for 13, is just crazy. And it's one of those times that really humbles me and makes me so happy to be a seamstress because I just think, I look at things and I think, yeah, I could make that. No worries. You want one of those? Fine. Like, it's like a superpower, right? It's so cool that you can just look at something in the world and think, yeah, I'm gonna make one of those. And yeah, this trench is no different. I'm definitely gonna make it. I've got a really long list of coat patterns now, but it's just beautiful. And I think even if you've got some like actual Burberry dead stock, which you can, but you have to go to Milan to get it, and you can buy it. So even if you had that kind of Burberry dead stock, like I imagine would be like a premium price, it still wouldn't come to anywhere near that amount. So to make your own like Burberry jacket sounds very, very tempting. Very, very tempting. And talking of Burberry, actually, they fell off the FTSE 100 and everybody thought that they were going to actually close their doors for good. So it was like a big, you know, not panic, but a big concern within the fashion world. And then they have a new director and he's come in and he's kind of really shaken things up. And they had their debut, or I can't remember if they opened or if they closed Fashion Week. I'd have to double check off the top of my head, I'm not sure. But the actual runway show was just phenomenal. So I'll try and find a video or a link. Vogue usually has them collated on their website, and I'll put it in the description, because it's really worth looking at. There was really really great, really great to watch, actually. So yeah, so if you like fashion and you like looking at garments, then I'll put the link in the description, and you can follow it along too, because it's really stunning. So yeah, moving on. Oh, sizing 34 to 50. Moving on. So Hello have brought out a new pattern called the Penzance pants. Less than a week ago, and they look pretty good, pretty comfortable. They're available in sizes 6 to 32, and they are €14.37. So you've got two options available. You've got this elasticated waist that kind of then finishes around calf length, and they're quite wide, they're quite comfortable. They're just like throw-on trousers, right? And then you've got a second option where you've got, I believe, a flat front waistband, and then they're like full length as well. So you don't get that kind of, you can't see the gathers as visibly, right? So it's like, it looks basically much flatter. There's no other way to describe it. So they look pretty good. They're not groundbreaking. They're not going to win any prizes for groundbreaking design. They just look like a nice pair of trousers. There are plenty of trousers out there that look very similar in both design and construction. But I will say that the people who tested the Penzance pants spoke very highly of them, and said that they had fantastic instructions. They were easy to make, that they were just really wonderful pair of trousers, like a pair of trouser pattern. So if you are new to sewing, or new to elasticated waists, or you just want an easy pattern, you know, don't we all sometimes, then I would probably recommend these based on what I've seen from the feedback. So yeah, they look good, which is always, like, the feedback was really wonderful, which is always a really good sign, I think, of a great pattern and a great designer, and a designer that is also very communicative with their testers. So yeah, that could be one for you. It would also make a really good present, I think. You know, I'm starting to think ahead for like Christmas presents and elasticated trousers, you know, around Christmas time. It's what we all want. It's what I want. So next one is a re-release, actually. It's not a brand new pattern, but it's by Cinnamon Daisy Studio, and they've re-released a pattern called the Willow. So it's not actually a new release, but they've done enough changes for it to warrant a re-release and a rebrand, as it were. So they have increased the bust size to a B, a D and an F cup. So big boobies can unite. Woohoo! I'm always really happy when they increase the cup size, because, you know, it's what we want from life. So the front and the back necklines have been altered. I've had coffee, in case you can't tell. In case they're all pausing it thinking, Sam, it's too early for this. So the shoulder shape has also been altered. And they've produced a new fitting guide in the manual, so you can get a really close fit to your body shape. And I always think that's really good if you're learning to sew and you need information clearly and easily, you know, easy to follow, for fitting to your body, and what points you need to look for, and how that would, you know, fit on your body. So recommend that. Always a big fan of that. Plus they've done a full sew along to go with it. It's one of those patterns that's got lots of options. So we've got multiple skirt length options, and also 3 different sleeves. So again, if you're looking for a pattern that can kind of do a lot of things, that might be the one for you. So there's large, very large inseam pockets. Now, this is what I'm most excited about. There is also a secret witch pocket inside, right? That is designed for mystical and magical sewists. So if you're into like crystals or, you know, the energy or like the healing properties of crystals, and you like to carry one or keep one on your body, this has this secret pocket that is designed to carry a crystal with you, which is really cool. I love it when patterns have like fun or silly or whimsical, you know, design features that aren't perhaps the most functional, but are just really gorgeous, really, really fun. So I absolutely love that. Do you like crystals? Is that something that you have in your life or are familiar with? Would you make this based on that? So yeah, it's a pretty, I will say actually, it's a pretty big thing in Switzerland. There's lots of hiking options throughout the country that are focused on hikes along ley lines and energy lines, and they do these kind of guided hikes, and there's like big crystals, you know, like quartz and stuff, that you can actually go and visit, and they encourage you to touch it, and it's in like positions that get certain amounts of sunlight or are on these kind of energy or like healing lines. And the same with the water. So you can drink obviously all the tap water and stream water in Switzerland. So they have this water that comes down on the energy lines, and people come from all over to like fill up water bottles and, you know, experience this like water with like healing properties or energy properties. I don't know much about it myself, which I'm sure you're picking up, but do find it very fascinating and very cool. So yeah, is it something that you're familiar with, or would you make this, or, you know, with the secret pocket and the crystals? I think it's really cool. I think it's really, really cool. So yeah, I can imagine this actually, if we're going to lean into that kind of witchy or healing vibes, in a really luxurious velvet with like a really deep nap. Something, you know, like navy with like gold accents. Yes, stunning. So last but not least is one I've written that's being released next week, but I am several days out of recording because of the cold situation. So it might actually already be out. I haven't actually checked, but I'll put the link in the description as always, and you can click it and see. But at time of writing my script, I didn't have all the information. So it is a dress called Dahlia. It's also a top, dress and a top, by a company called Fortiv. Now, I don't have all the details because to my knowledge, it hasn't been released yet, but it might have already been released. I'll have to double check. I'll put all the details, you can follow it. So we've got a curved front waistline, which I think looks best with the top version. I think it kind of gets pulled out slightly with the dress version, or it just makes more of a statement with the top personally, but I like the top. So I like the top best. So then you've got these gathered puff sleeves. You've got 3 skirt length options and either a front or a back keyhole detail. Now I do really love the top version. So they've done like a contrasting binding around the neckline, around the cuffs, and then around this kind of keyhole with the ties. Now I love that. Imagine that with like the contrasting binding to match like a pair of wide-legged pleated trousers. Ooh, that would really like tie together nicely, right? And I think it would really work for autumn and winter as well. So I'd 100% wear that. Absolutely. I'm afraid I don't have any info on sizing or pricing yet. I'll double check and update the information for you. So what do you think of the patterns? Are you going to make any? Are you interested or intrigued by any? The trench coat is for me just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. That's and I know a lot of you really like trenches and, you know, jackets and capes as well. So I feel like when you're going to see it, you're going to be like, yes, Sam, we're with you on this one. At least I hope so anyway. So that is all I have got for you today. Let me know if you have any patterns that you've noticed have come out that I might have missed, you know, and let me know in the comments. I would very much appreciate it. Oh, and if you did like this video, do please like and subscribe so that I can get remonetized, because I'm demonetized at the moment because I didn't post any videos for a few months because my dog passed away. And I would very much appreciate that. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.